Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be checking out Sally Cinnamon by the Stone Roses. A dear friend of mine lent me his 12-string acoustic, so at the start of this video and at the end you're going to see that make an appearance, but for the main bulk of the lesson I'm going to be using 6 strings. Anyway, I've got a massive thank you to Rich, Nate and Jack, who are my latest patrons. Thank you so much for the support. If you'd like to get involved in the channel and vote on my next lesson, please click the link below. And with that in mind, smash the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and let's get on with it. To start, let me just break down the sound. Today I'm using an American Fender Strat on the bridge pickup, and I'm going to use my usual combination of overdrive, which is a DoD looking glass, and an exotic super sweet, which is a boost pedal. Now I'm going to dial in the bass and treble at about 3 o'clock each, and we want to go for a low to mid overdrive sound. Alongside that, I'm going to use a Boss CE2W, which is a chorus pedal, and I'm going to have the depth and the rate set to 12 o'clock on each. The only other thing you need to do is add in a little bit of reverb, and I've done that from the amp today. Alright then, let's start by having a look at the introduction to Sally Cinnamon, and this is a really nice and easy one. It's not asking too much of us. Let's have a look at the example first, and then I'll break it down. So it's a nice fun riff to begin with. We're going to start with an open G, and then we're going to move over to the third of the B with our ring finger, then the first of the B, and then the open B. I'll just do that again. At this point we're going to come back in on the first of the B, playing that, then playing the open B string, and we're going to repeat that 3 times. We're then going to land on the second of the G with our middle finger, at which point we're going to repeat the riff a second time. Altogether we have this so far. At this point we're then going to very quickly move over to a D major, and we're going to play that and hold on the chord. We're then going to come back in with a riff, which is going to sound like this. And that's going to be first of the B, open twice. And the second of the G. We're then going to move into a C major. We're then going to play the C major again, so a second time. And very quickly move over to a D major, so we have this. At which point we'll move into a G, and we'll let that ring out, and it will move us into the verse. Now, just a quick note for this particular riff: when we hold on the D major and we're waiting to go into this riff, There's a really odd amount of time we have to wait. We're going to count one bar, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go into our second bar, count one beat, so 1, and then on the off beat of that first beat, we're then going to come in with a riff. So if I was counting it, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'll just do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A bit quicker, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. One final tip for this section: when we go from the C to the D chords really quickly at the end, it might be to your advantage to play one with the downstroke and one with an upstroke, so you have something a bit more like this. All together, it sounds like this.
So much more rain clouds, so they used to chase me.
The acoustic guitar is going to join the mix on the second time through the opening riff, and it's going to play a slightly more complex version. It just goes like this. We're simply going to fit in 2 extra open G notes. We're going to start off the open G and third of the B like usual. But before we go to the first of the B, we're going to fit in our first extra G note. Then we'll do an open B. Then fit in our second extra G note. We'll then sync up with the electric guitar, stabs on D major, C major, C to D, then we'll be into G to move into our first verse. We're now going to move on and have a look at the electric guitar parts for the verse and the chorus / refrain. Let's have a look at the example first and then I'll break it down.
Until Sally, I was never happy. I needed so much more rain clouds, so they used to chase me. Down they would pour.
the verse, we're going to play nothing. We're going to let the acoustic guitar play the G chord and then the C chord and then again G to C, and at the end of that second C chord there's going to be a little acoustic riff, and that's going to signal our entrance. And we're going to start the first riff on a really odd note. We're going to start by playing it on the offbeat of the first beat of the bar, and that's going to be the 12th fret of the G with an upstroke. We're then going to play the 14th of the G and then go back to the 12th. We're then going to flatten our index finger and play the 12th of the B, and then go back to the 14th of the G and the 12th. We're then going to play the 14th of the G and the 12th of the B. We'll then go backwards, 14 of the G, back to the 12th. So together we have this. And again. We're then going to slide down into our second riff, which is going to sound like this. So this time it's going to be a little bit more simple. We're going to start by playing on the beat, and that's going to be the second beat of the bar, and we're going to play the 5th of the G, going to the 7th, and the 5th of the B. We're then going to go backwards, 7 on the G to 5, and then we'll go back to the 7. We're going to pause for just a minute, then we're going to play the 7th of the G again, then 5, 7, 5 on the B, 7, 5 on the G. And once more. We're then going to move back up to our first riff, and we're going to play it exactly how we learnt it, starting with the offbeat. Then we're going to go back to our second riff, and we're going to play a slight variation. It just goes like this. Again, starting the same as we did before, 5 to 7 and then 5 on the B. Then 7, 5, 7 on the G. We're then going to go to the 5th of the G. Then pause for a moment. We're then going to play the 5th of the G another 2 times. And the 4th. Then the open G. And one more time. From here we're going to go into a D major. Then we're going to move into a C, but a C with a G in the bass. So we're just adding in the 3rd of the E there. And then we'll be back into our main riff. Once again, our verse riffs sound like this. into the verse with the acoustic guitar. We're going to play a G major and a C major twice for 2 bars each, and we're just going to let both of those chords ring out. So we have this. At the end of the second C major, we're going to play this little riff. And that's going to be open D, hammering onto the 2nd fret, open G twice, then the same thing again, but only 1 open G. At that point, the tempo is going to pick up a bit. We're going to play the same chords, so G and C twice for 2 bars each, but the rhythm is going to go like this. I'll just play that again. Really focus on my right hand, and in particular the upstrokes. We're then going to move into the chorus/refrain, and we're going to do stabs on a D major. We're then going to play a C, but a C with a G in the bass, so the 3rd of the E. And then the song's going to go back to the main riff, at which point the chords are going to play G and C, but this time we're going to play them at an even faster tempo and pushing the rhythm on the C major. So we have this. I'll just do that again. Let's now move on and have a look at the second verse, and this is my personal favourite part of the song. It's where the momentum really picks up. Let's have a look at the example first and then I'll break it down. So for the most part, there's nothing really new to learn here. We're going to start with the riffs that we played in the first verse. But when we go to play the riff up at the 12th and 14th frets, the second and the third time, we're going to play this new alternative version of it. It just sounds like this. We're going to start at the 12th of the G, going to the 14th and back to the 12th. Then the 12th of the B like usual. And at this point we're going to go back to the 12th of the G. Then our middle finger is going to come over and play the 13th of the B. Then the 12th. 14th of the G. 12th of the B. Then 14th of the G. Going back to the 12th. I'll just play that again. So the second verse should sound like this. So that concludes part number 1 for my lesson on Sally Cinnamon by the Stone Roses. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it. In part number 2, we're going to focus on the instrumental right the way through to the end of the song. But for now, I'm going to leave you with the backing track, which will review everything we've learnt so far.